quickly introduce myself and what this is. So, if you're new to my channel, remember, I'm Ileka Falette and I'm a mom of four. And about 8 years ago, I had a major weight loss transformation, felt good, had more energy, left corporate America, and started my own wellness and weight loss business, right? And then shortly thereafter, I kind of missed the business strategy stuff that I was doing in corporate. And so I began to work with wellness professionals to bring that the business strategy on business strategy so that they can step into growing their business, being more visible, being the in-demand expert in their industry. But here's the thing. I was like, I've got this really cool YouTube channel and I want to start bringing wellness experts and professionals onto this YouTube channel to share tips, strategies, and things like that with my audience. So that's what we're doing today. So here's what I want to share with you guys really quickly before we introduce our amazing expert. Have you ever been in a space, right? You're 42 years old and you're like, is this it? I'm 42. I've been living this life. I get up every morning, I go to work, I get the kids ready. They come home, I help them with their homework, I make dinner, and then I just, say hi to my husband. We watch a TV show, maybe some trash reality show or something, and then we go to bed. And that's just what life looks like. You know, if that's you, I want to introduce you to our expert, Lori McDonald. She is amazing, right? She is a guru and she has a company called Reimagine U, right? And it's literally how to step into the life that you want and almost reinventing yourself so you can live your best life. I'm going to let Lori introduce herself, but I just wanted to share that with you guys because what I've heard her do and seen her do, not just in her own story, but with her clients, with the people that she works with, it's insane, right? Like that's the best word I can use. It's the only word I can use. It's amazing because it's a huge shift. So Lori, please introduce yourself to the folks watching today.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Lori McDowell, and I am the CEO of Reimagine U Strategies, and I am an author. I have a book called The Reinvention Mindset, which is coming out next month. I am so excited about that. I can't wait to have the book in my hands. I am also a speaker, inspirational, motivational talks, as well as keynote talks, and then I'm a trainer and a coach, and that's really where I see the biggest differences in helping people is just so fulfilling and helping people change their lives. And I know Alika is going to mention this, but I'll be 61 years old next month. So I changed my life at a rather old age. So
Old, young in spirit, right?
yeah.
And no, so it's really cool. One thing I wanted to highlight about Lori also is that she's a whole chemical engineer, right? Isn't that what
Yes, yeah.
engineer prior to this? And has an incredible story. And I'd love for you to share it. Lori, how did you get into this type of work?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I was working as a chemical engineer, and I had a job. Well, about 2 years ago, I had a job I loved. I had done it for about 10 years, and I was very successful. I was a director in my company. I had the biggest accounts. I was just really, really successful, and I didn't think I would leave that for a couple years. I figured I'd eventually leave and maybe do something different, but not until my son was out of college. And then my boss retired and a new person came in and the whole environment changed. You've probably all been there where you had a job you loved and the boss
Mhm.
changed and you hated your job. But I said, you know what? I'll last. I'll hang out there. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. And
Mhm.
then one day, we had a meeting in a place about 4 hours from my house. It was a 2 day sales meeting. I was supposed to present on the second day. And I went and drove to the meeting to check into the hotel. I got there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I was told that my room had been canceled. So we kind of joked. I was like, oh, there must be some mistake.
Right.
And then I went to a meeting that I had planned to meet with my boss at 4:30 that afternoon. So I went into the conference room. And when I got there, something didn't feel right. My intuition kicked in. There was another vice president sitting in the room. And I'm like, why is he here? He's not supposed to be here. And then I noticed that my boss's phone was sitting on the table, and suddenly I hear a voice come from that phone, and it says, "This is Angie in HR. We are terminating you. You will be paid until the end of the day. Turn in your laptop immediately." And I was just like, I don't think I didn't breathe for a few seconds, and
Right.
suddenly I was just like, "What?" Is this, like, is this a joke? Are you for real? And I was like, you made me drive 4 hours to fire me. I mean, who does that? That's
Right.
ridiculous.
You could have told you that at home.
I
Right?
know. Why I was on the phone with my boss that morning. It's like, why didn't you just tell me to stay home? We're going to fire you. And it was so disrespectful. It was embarrassing because people saw me at the hotel. I was on the schedule for the meeting and suddenly I wouldn't be there. So everybody, I could just hear the conversation. What happened to Lori? Did she get fired? What did she do? So
Mhm.
it was almost like they made me a message to, if we can fire one of our highest level, most successful people, we can fire anybody. So you better just toe the line and do what we say. And it was a horrible experience for a little while.
Yeah.
But then I started driving home and I had a 4 hour drive. And about halfway into that drive, suddenly the thought popped into my head that I don't have to go to work tomorrow. And suddenly it was like, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. It was like
Right.
celebration. And it was amazing. I just realized, you know what? I didn't want to do that, and I don't have to do that. And at that point, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I just said, I'm going to take charge of my life. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to figure out what I really want to do and I'm going to do it. And that's how I got started.
You know what's really cool about that? And for those who are watching, just kind of thinking through this process, right? Um, Lori could have done the conventional thing. You could have done the conventional thing. You could have gone and said, okay, lost one job. I'm a freaking boss at what I do. I'm a chemical engineer, one of the highest in the company. I can just call this other company and get on their payroll, right? Another job doing the same thing I've been doing. But there was something that happened in that 4 hour drive back that said, if I can be disrespect, do I want to continue to be disrespected in this way? Why not restart? Do something different. And and I got to let y'all know, at the time when Lori did this, she was 59 years old, right? And I actually let's go even further. 59 years, 11 months and 3 weeks old because I remember before your birthday. And my thought is, if Lori could make this shift at 59 years, 11 months and 3 weeks old, then you 42-year-old woman who's sitting there like, well, I've already, what I do. Who says that this is what you do? Who says that you can't make this shift? So, Lori, I would love to hear, like, and I know everyone watching would love to hear, what is it that you did next? Like, what do you do with your clients? How did you really start helping clients? And what made you think, you know what? Other people are probably doing this too.
Yeah, what I did next was I did exactly what you said. At first, I started thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I'll get another job. And as I looked at other jobs, I just really said, they're all going to be the same. Someone else is going to be in charge of my life, and I'm not going to be in charge. And I didn't want to do that. So I always wanted to write a book, and that's when I started writing a book, and the words just came. I mean, I wrote the whole book. It's going to take a year to get it out, but I think I wrote the whole book in like 2.5 months because it was in my head and it just came out. And as I wrote the book and I started talking to people, I realized there were so many other people that were in that situation where they were doing what they thought they were supposed to do, but they
Hmm.
didn't love it. They weren't really happy. They just let somebody else pick their happiness. And I realized, okay, I need to help these people. So first I interviewed a lot of people who had gone through something horrible and did amazing things
Hmm.
and found out what it was they did. And they were all very common. They all had the same experience and that I put in the book. And I based my training program, but then I said I want to learn more. So I started studying. I started taking coaching programs. I learned how to change your mindset. I learned how to release what's holding you back. And now what I do is I work with people, and I can really show them how to truly change their life and just first they find out what it is they really want and what's holding them back, and then we look at some tools and some tips to conquer that. And then we can do a true breakthrough where we release everything and you end up feeling like a new person where you're in charge. It's your choice. And at that point, you can do anything you want because I believe we all have everything we need inside of us. We just need to be able to access it to get the life we want.
Yeah. And release that fear, right? Because when that first moment happens, there's that fear of, oh my gosh, I've got a mortgage. You know,
Mhm.
I've got a son about to go to college. I've got these things happening. Like, I can't just not have a job, right?
Right.
But then it's that moment of, you know what? Let me see what other people did. I love that. I hadn't heard that a lot of people done this, right? I love that you went out and interviewed folks who had gone through a
Yeah.
similar.
And the people I interviewed were, they didn't just get fired. I interviewed people that went through awful things, people who lost a child, people who
Mhm.
got a debilitating disease, people who witnessed a murder. I mean, people who had things that were unthinkable,
Ooh,
and they came out so amazing. And they started nonprofits. They wrote books and became bestsellers. They changed, they raised millions of dollars for childhood cancer research. The stuff they did was so impressive, and it's like, well, if you can overcome something so awful and become something so amazing, we can there's nothing special about you people. You just learn to tap into what you have inside you. So anyone can overcome, getting fired, not getting the promotion, getting a divorce, gaining weight, whatever it is that's stopping you. You have it. We all have it inside of us, and I truly believe that we're all amazing. We're all exactly where we need to be, and we all have the ability to get where we want to go once we learn how. And it's really learning how the brain works, and that's what I studied. It's how the brain works and how to let your brain allow you to, how to communicate with your brain and how to basically allow you to access what's out there.
exactly. And Lori, can you give folks, someone who's going through this, right? That like I said, that 42, 45-year-old woman who's out there thinking like, this has happened to me, right? I've lost a job or lost someone close to me or, just in this struggle mode. And I think, and she's thinking, this is it. This is just what life looks like now. Can you give her one tip to make a shift that will help her on the road to making a shift now?
Yes, I think the one tip is that you really don't have to do it alone.
Mm,
It could be people you know, but some people don't want to share that. I didn't want to share it with people I know. So I reached out to strangers. I joined coaching programs online. I joined groups online. There's also, I mean, I talk to a higher power. For me, it's God, but for you, it could be source. It could, but you're not alone in this. And if you ask for help, it's offered. So many people want to, want to share what they learn.
mm.
They get joy out of helping other people. So if once you know you're not alone and that other people have gone through it and you can get help, it makes the whole process easier because you start to see that light and it's out there and you can get there.
Oh, that is so good. Not doing it alone. And that goes with anything, right? That goes with if you're trying to make some sort of transformation, some sort of shift in your life, whether it be weight loss, changing careers, shifting how you look at life, stepping into the life that you want to live. Like getting help is super important because we are really good at the thing that we do, right?
Hmm.
Mean we're good at doing it for ourselves. I've literally seen, mindset coaches have mindset coaches or someone, when we're shifting.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanic and I'm amazing at being a mechanic. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to help myself shift into becoming a, supermodel or whatever it is that I
Right.
want to.
Yeah. No, I would never hire a coach that didn't have a coach because I have like six of them. I'm coached on everything. So, but if you're thinking about hiring a coach, the first question I have to ask you, do you have a coach? Because if they don't have a coach, then you don't want to work with them.
Lori, can you tell folks how to connect with you? What's the best way to connect with you? And because I know you have your book coming out and some other things.
Yes, you can go to my website, which is https dot backslash not backslash the typical website, but
Right.
reimagine you, that's the capital U.net.
Mhm.
Or you can reach out to me at lmcdowell at reimagineu.net. And if you just want to book a call, this one's easy. Just go to book Lori, Lori.com, and that'll
Yeah.
take you right to my schedule.
Awesome. And for folks who are watching it later, we're going to put that, ensure that those details are in the description. Really reach out to Lori. If you're sitting in that space and you're like, I'm 45 and I can't do it, just keep in mind that Lori was 59 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks old when she decided to make this shift, right? If she can do it, why not you? But she got help and you can too. Now she helps people to get. This is why Lori is here on this platform today because she's an expert in what she does. I've vetted people. We've literally seen her help people shift. We've seen her be able to shift herself. and she can help you do the same. So go ahead and reach out to Lori and let's make this happen because it's time to live the life that you want to live, right? Being your best self.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you so much, Lori, for being here. I'll be sure to have Lori's information in the description of this video. But here's the thing that I want to share with you all, right? Each week we're going to be having experts on this channel sharing about, reimagine you, so reinventing yourself, healthy tips to living a healthier lifestyle, weight loss, fitness, different things to just live the life that you want to live. Lori will definitely be back. So be sure to catch her next episode as well, her next live. We'll be sharing it on the channel when we're going live with different experts. But this is super important. This is why I always tell you guys, be sure to click the notification to our videos so you're notified when we're having when we go live because it's super important. You're always going to get some amazing gems. All right. So thank you all for watching today, and we will see y'all on the next episode.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, Alika. Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.